What's going on, everyone? It's Tay with Spectacular Gadgets, and in this video I'm going to show you what I did with a case I really didn't care for and how I turned it into a case that I love. Let's do this!
Spectacular Gadgets.
Quick backstory though. I was able to do this because I used my Samsung accessory credits to purchase this case. Otherwise, I don't really care for flip cover cases or these types of cases, so it's in your best interest to not go ahead and purchase this to do this. It's probably better for you to go to Spigen or one of the other case makers that have a case that has an S Pen holder. But if you're like me and you just brought it because you wanted to spend those credits, because you know if you don't spend that money with Samsung when you do the pre-order, you're leaving money on the table. So I decided just to get it and I'd figure out what I do with it later on. But most of you guys know I prefer a case with a kickstand. And VRS does that nicely for me, so I decided to mix and match. I got the idea from my neighbor. Shout out to Big Mosley. He also did something similar, but he wanted hinge protection. And the case that I use, they don't really give you any type of protection for the hinge. So he mixed and matched two different cases as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. At the time of this recording, buying this flip cover case will cost you $80 on the Samsung website. The case comes with the S Pen that's specifically made for the Z Fold3, along with the holder to hold the pen when you're not using it. So to be straight up honest with you folks, I was not planning on making a video about this. It just occurred to me that I had this sitting around and I didn't plan on using it. Like I said, I already had my case of choice. So unfortunately, the steps that I took to create this case is not recorded, but it's so easy that I can just kind of show you what I did. So this is the case that you get, and you notice that it's actually missing the pen holder. Now what I did was I super glued the pen holder to an existing case that I already had. This is my VRS Design case. It's the quick stand one, and I'm still able to actually use the quick stand, as you see. This case comes with like this little, it's like a rail, so you slide the pen holder up and it will release it off of the case. So basically it was like this, and when you get the case it's like this. And no, it's not this big. This is the S Pen Pro holder, but you slide it up and that way you could release the pen holder from the case. Now once you get the pen holder out, there's like a lip on the pen holder, so I just took my unboxing knife or a knife and just cut all of that lip off so I could have a flat, smooth surface. The next thing that I did was I took the part of the case that covers the front screen and I used super glue. Now don't put the super glue on the S Pen holder, but instead put it on the case itself on the side. So that way you can see where you're supposed to apply the super glue. You just don't want to put the super glue where you use your thumbs to open up the device when it is closed. So you're just going to use the part where the S Pen holder can lay flat. Let me give you a better look at the case with the S Pen holder attached. And I just used the front cover part of the case. Very simple and easy to do. I accidentally got a little bit of super glue on the side as well as on my finger. So be very careful when using the super glue. Let me show you placing the S Pen inside the holder so you can see it goes in perfectly fine. Now to reinstall the front part of the case back onto the device. Now when you have this on, I will admit that it is a little bit tough to get to the fingerprint sensor because it is located on the side. So if you're going to use the front part of the screen, just go ahead and use your pen. You can totally use the fingerprint sensor, but it's not as convenient as it was if this wasn't in the way. Of course, when you have the device unfolded, you're not going to have any issues because the right side of the case was untouched. But now I have a case with a kickstand as well as an S Pen holder. Using the kickstand, I still have my viewing angles, so I can view it this way is what I normally do, but I can also still view it at this angle with no issues. No issues. I'm pretty happy with my little do-it-yourself case. I get an S Pen holder as well as get to have a kickstand. Again, I would only do this if you already had this case and you weren't really going to use it, and if you are a heavy S Pen user. If not, don't even worry about all this. This video is not for you. But if you are, go ahead and try it. Let me know how it turns out for you. Let me know any other ideas you guys use with mix and match. Last bit of advice I would recommend is please use super glue. Do not try to use regular glue. Don't try to tape it or anything like that. I say that because when I try to tell people to use something like surgical tape or 3M to help them remove their stuck SIM tray, I got all kinds of questions like, why is it not working? I use regular tape. Can I use masking tape and all that? So use super glue, people. Make sure to take the S Pen out before you apply the super glue. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to chill with me as we go through this journey. And until next time, everyone, I want you all to have a spectacular day. Later.